And speaking of rejection of globalism, we turn now to the Netherlands. Well, Rebel News' Lincoln Jay has spent the day with farmers who are protesting the country's new Green Act demands. Lincoln, what did you see and hear on the ground?
Thanks so much for having me on. So I arrived in the Netherlands yesterday, and so far we've covered a group of farmers that are protesting just about an hour and a half outside of Amsterdam. Now, the one thing about this movement, these protests, is that there's actually multiple protests happening across the Netherlands, all for the same cause. So there isn't just one big group of protesters. It's they're kind of scattered through the country. But what it is really reminding me of is what we saw with the truckers in Ottawa back in February. I was embedded in Ottawa for the entire month that they were there. And what I can tell you from what I've seen so far in the Netherlands is it is very similar. This is just simply another example of everyday people who are sick and tired of government and globalists trying to take more control over our lives. It's as simple as that.
Now, one farmer that you interviewed thinks there is a larger goal here, especially when it concerns agriculture and land. Watch.
Have they treated you extremely poorly, or do you think that they could just do better?
Of course, they can do better, but we believe it's part of a bigger plan. They need our land. They don't need our nitrogen.
So, Lincoln, is it really about, oh, we don't want you to use so much fertilizer for climate change? Or do they want the land that these families, some of them have been working for hundreds and hundreds of years?
Yeah, you know, farmers who have had their land in their bloodline for generations are now at risk of potentially losing it. I think the bottom line here is that the farmers genuinely believe that this is simply going to destroy their livelihoods. But in the government's eyes, it's about combating climate change. So there's a lot of things going on here. I think these new environmental policies are just going to make it practically impossible for the younger generation here in the Netherlands to get into farming. And I think now the rest of the world is starting to watch very closely what's happening here. And I think a lot of people are scared that this is going to come to their country.
Well, we have a lot of big landowners in the United States, don't we? Bill Gates is one of them, and we have other people who own hundreds of thousands of acres and have taken it out of agriculture, and a lot of people want to know why. Lincoln, thank you for being there, and we'll talk to you soon.
He's just finally arrived into Amsterdam, where we are going to be meeting some farmers over at Leeuwarden, and we have our Dutch Sherpa, Setske, to be taking us around the Netherlands to, of course, interview the farmers. So great to see you, Lincoln, for the first time as well.
Yeah, guys, we're going to show you as much as we can while we're here in the Netherlands. We've created a special website where you can check out all of our coverage. It's farmerrebellion.com. You know how Rebel News does it. We're not going to spin the narrative. We're just going to show you exactly what's happening here on the ground with relation to the farmer protests that we're seeing.